Hey guys, what's happening? It's JordanLad1996 here, and we're back with FIFA 13 Career Mode with Chelsea, and finally we are at the first Premier League game of the season against Wigan. There's going to be debutants for the likes of Shirley, Holidays, Bernard. We're going to get them all their first game. So against Wigan, pretty much the weakest, if not one of the weakest teams in the league. Obviously they got relegated this season in real life, so they're obviously not that great. We should be expected to beat them heavily. We're going to see how that goes. Now, the way I'm going to be doing, I've already explained this in previous videos, I think, but it's going to be the highlights of all the goals, because I'm not simming any games this season. I'm going to play every single bloody one of them, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, with the first goal, we dispossessed their left back. Absolutely terrible mistake on his part, and we score an easy finesse. I've no idea what their defender was doing, to be honest, lads. He got the ball and he just stood there and didn't really move for the first 5 seconds. He just walked casually towards the ball. I get there first. I score an easy goal. But most people can't defend for shit against world-class AA, and I'm no exception. I'm terrible at defending against them. I'll be conceding a lot of goals, so there will be plenty of highlights. Don't get worried about that, and I'll be scoring a good few as well, so plenty to look out for. There'll barely be any 0-0s. But anyway, the reason I'm showing it straight from the kickoff again is because I actually score straight from the kickoff, which is pretty good if you ask me. But anyway, we'll sweat them. Long story short, sweaty goal. We'll cross it to Wiltshire. They would have done the same to me, so screw them, and I'm getting there first. Lovely little sweaty goal. Got my sweatbands on. Great goal. Now, 90th minute. Couldn't be any worse than this. Almost the exact same goal, only from the other side, with a cross this time to Jordi Gomez as their first goal. Very similar, which speaks volumes for how shit my defending actually is against them. In the 90th minute, thought I had the victory, and I was in tears. Because, you want to get 3 points in your first game to get you off that positive start, and I freaking draw against Wigan, probably the worst team, so not a good start, lads. But anyway, we'll get into the transfer business here. We'll get an offer from Barcelona for Ashley Cole. Now, this is probably the biggest mistake I make in this window. I accept it, and the reason it's a massive mistake is because the only cover I have for Ashley Cole is Luke Shaw, and, while he will be great in the future, hence why I bought him, he wasn't meant to be a starter now, so I regret that one a bit further into this, but, not a massive mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. Now, obviously we got another off there for Courtois, but I'm not freaking selling Courtois. He's going to be the best goalkeeper in the game, so didn't even bother looking at that one, just reject straight away. So we'll get a good thing about selling Colo is he's on massive wages, and you don't want to have all your old players on massive wages, so you do want to get rid of them. Now, there's a Sam Hutchinson offer here. He's not a massive player to the team, but barely see any minutes at the club, so just decide, screw it, sell him. Didn't even look at the value, just accept, bye-bye. Go enjoy your football elsewhere rather than sitting on the bench, maybe not even the bench, the training ground. So, now, as you'll see, we do actually end up messing about with the budget a little bit throughout this video, because I'm trying to get it right so I can buy Kevin De Bruyne. Because obviously, as you seen in the previous video just before the match, he's waiting just to be signed. He's just waiting on my response, to accept them as a Chelsea player. So I just have to get the wages right. That's why I'm trying to get rid of big wage players, so I can sort that out. Now, we've got an offer there from Atletico Madrid for John Terry. They've matched what I asked for, so John Terry's going to Atletico Madrid. Again, another massive wage player who's past his prime, if we're being honest. So, delighted to get rid of him. He's slow as hell. Wouldn't be any fun to play with. Legend in real life, but shit in FIFA. So, we get rid of Terry, get rid of Cole. That's a lot of wages freed up. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at this point that, pretty close to this point, we're going to buy Kevin De Bruyne. I think it's in about 30 seconds or so. But anyway, yeah. Probably shouldn't have said that, but sort of spoiling it. But anyway, we will be signing Kevin De Bruyne. I think, yeah, we do sign him before this match, so any time now, it's imminent. But as you can see there, just confirmation of the players that we've just sold. So the wages are officially here now. They've officially left. So yeah, we'll go into budget allocation. we'll sort that out. We'll get it to the right amount. I think we'll go into it once or twice. Yeah, just to sort it out quickly. And now it's time to finally sign Kevin De Bruyne. Now that the money's there. And he is officially a Chelsea player. Well, the annoying thing is I've had to buy him. He actually already is officially a Chelsea player, so that was a pain in the ass, the fact that I had to buy that. I had to buy Kevin De Bruyne, sorry, rather, because I didn't have to buy Lukaku, yet I had to buy Kevin De Bruyne, which is bullshit. You know, so they need to sort that out in future games and get their rosters right. And obviously that's just confirmation of him signing, that he's joined, you know, he's packed his bags, he's left, so, and we're ready to start the next game against Newcastle United. Now I actually play a false 9 formation here, playing Hazard just off the front. I wanted just to experiment a little bit, because obviously playing with a striker didn't work in the last game, so I thought I'd mix things up just to try it. Now obviously I'm going to be playing a striker in most of the games, but I just thought this was a good time, a home game against Newcastle, to mix things up. Now this first goal that we score is actually, you mightn't see it on this first, you know, just a live goal, but on the replay you'll probably see it. Is actually a pretty heavy, well, not a heavy deflection, but a deflection nonetheless. From the Burner goal, you can see he just completely pace abuses past the first guy. Now the guy running across, it does end up hitting his foot. That wasn't the best replay angle, to be fair, so you mightn't have seen that, but as you can see here, no trouble from a corner, but I freaking get dispossessed right outside my box, and that's a clumsy goal to concede. I was really pissed off with that when it happened, but, you know, again, I'm showing a replay from the centre spot, which means I score straight from kickoff. Again, second game running. Absolutely delighted with that. Shows I'm coming back good from, you know, upsets, so I'm reacting well to them and scoring, but again, it was another lucky ricochet, to be honest, but I'm taking it, you know, restoring my lead with an Oscar goal. He couldn't really miss when he got through, but the ricochet set him up, as you can see there. Hits it against him, and it just sits up lovely for him, the pace abuse through. This goal, however, nothing they can do. Absolute pace abuse from Hazard. He's never catching him. Over the top through ball. Probably the easiest way to score in FIFA. Lovely goal. You know, there's no way he's catching him. Hazard is one of the, if not the fastest guys in the game, so not catching him, no chance. This goal is probably the best goal in terms of quality that I do score thus far in the game. Look at that, just sits lovely on the volley, chests it down, weak foot, right into the top corner. Sexy goal. And the replay will show that. You know, just lovely football, dragging all their defenders to one side. Look at the space. I had 2 players there that were in space. Easy goal. So we end up winning that one 4-1. Pretty emphatic victory. I expect to win most of the games like that, because, you know, once you get ahead of steam, you do score a lot inside a short amount of time. So as long as I can keep the amount they scored down to like 1 or 2, I should win most of those games. So the false 9 formation proves a success. I think I only use it a few times though. I end up, you know, just deciding to go with a striker because it is the traditional way to play. I'm not Barcelona. As much as I might be trying to buy a lot of playmakers, I'm not Barcelona, and it's a stupid way to play, to be honest. So now, as you can see there, Nicholas Unkalu, he is going to be our next signing, hopefully. Now, obviously we sold John Terry, got rid of a lot of wages, so we need to replace him. We need to get a world-class centre-back. This guy is exactly that. He's only rated 80 now, but he's only 22 years of age, and I've used him before, and he gets up very high, so yeah, it's a great move overall. Now, we use Oriol Romeu as, you know, leverage to try and sign him, a swap deal if you like, but, you know, Romeu's not a massive player in the squad. He doesn't have massive potential, so I just decided, you know, might as well use him to get the price down a bit. And we're going to go for another marquee signing here, a striker. Now, obviously in the search engine, I've just put striker because I wasn't sure at this point who I wanted, so I just decided to browse around all of them. I end up stopping and looking at, I think it's Luis Suarez, yeah, but don't look into this at all. I didn't buy Luis Suarez, don't worry. Especially if you're a Chelsea fan, I suppose you don't even want to see the side of him after what he did to Ivanovic, but yeah, don't worry, we don't buy him. I was just looking to see what his price was like, but the guy we're actually going to be buying is Mario Gomez. Why are we buying Mario Gomez? because he is a clinical finisher. The guy never misses in the box. He's absolutely clinical and will be a great signing. That's one of the things I was disappointed about in the first game against Wigan. My finishing was awful. I know you mightn't see that with the highlights, but my finishing was just shit. So I said to myself, that's why I ended up playing false 9 in the next game, because I couldn't finish for shit with my striker. So I said to myself, I'm going to get a clinical finisher, try and get him for a good bit of money. Now, again, I'm offering a player as leverage to try and, you know, sweeten the deal a bit, if you like. So I end up browsing about here for a lot, and, you know, from time to time it will take me a little bit of time, you know, to figure out who exactly I want to put in, because you have to look at all your players and sort of evaluate how important they are to the club. So you don't want to offer one of your best players, because then you're not getting anything out of the deal. So you want to offer someone who's not quite a first teamer, or is not in your plans maybe. Now, the player I eventually do go to offer is David Luiz. A lot of Chelsea fans, if you're looking at that, you're saying, what the hell are you doing? He's one of our best players. Not so much in career mode. He's an absolute animal online in FIFA, but in career mode he's not that great, to be honest. So I said to myself, might as well, especially if we're getting Uncluan, might as well get rid of him, especially if we can get the mighty Gomez up front. Now, we get feedback from them actually quite quickly. They both get rejected. One club just isn't interested in the player we've offered, and the other club wants more money. Now, what we're going to do is we actually switch it up. I decide to offer a centre back for a centre back, so I'm going to actually switch David Luiz to the Marseille offer. You know, so they'll have a replacement, you know, very similar replacement for what I'm actually taking from them. And then in the next one, I take David Luiz away, obviously, because I can't offer him for two different players. So instead I offer Branislav Ivanovic. I wasn't sure about selling him at the start, but, you know, he has good value to him. He's a highly rated player, so there's more incentive to offer him. Now, that is going to be the end of this video, lads. There'll be one more video for this transfer window, then we'll be done with it. So it's been JordyLad1986 here, and thanks for watching the video, lads, and look out for the next one.